How did I get started? Everybody asks me, how did I get started trading? How did I get started, learning about the markets? What made me want to learn about the market? I still get that question to this day. Why tape reading? And why don't you use technical analysis? Why don't you do all this kind of stuff? So let me give you guys my background story, right? Everybody has like a reason why they want to get into trading in the first place. Obviously, it has to do with money, right? We have to talk about money. You can't just say money is not the driver for you to want to learn about trading or figure out trading. So money was it. Money was, of course, it for me. I grew up in a family that was always kind of in conflict with money. There was never enough. There was enough, but there was never enough, if that makes any sense. And there was always fights over what's going on with money, family situations with money. I was born in India. My parents, of course, they lived in India for a long time. So relatives over there, coming over here. It's a different culture. American lifestyle is very different from Indian culture. And for them to adopt the American lifestyle, which was consumerism, spend, you gotta make money. And my father's kind of an extreme sort of guy. I'm very extreme as well. So, he wanted to make as much of it as possible. And he brought up his two sons to believe that, not that that was the answer in life, but that it could solve a lot of problems. For, you having a bit of money could solve some problems, especially the problems that he was having. So he definitely steered us in that direction, and he did it in his sort of way, which was kind of an asshole way. It was kind of a brute force kind of way, which I also inherited as well. And from, a kid, I realized that one of my jobs on this planet was to, of course, take care of my parents and take care of them, make sure that they're good, make sure they have enough money. That was kind of the big reason, that was the major reason why I didn't want to go ahead and take a corporate job. Not that corporate jobs are wrong, people have 9-to-5s and all that kind of stuff. I'm not the guy to say that 9-to-5 is a wrong way to go or anything like that. But it wasn't for me, right? It wasn't for me. I was always looking for more. In college, I was kind of starting a lot of different businesses. I had a painting business. I sold a lot of concert tickets, sporting event tickets. Red Sox tickets was a big thing that I was into. And I did really well, in college. And I was always that kind of guy who always had kind of things going on. Of course, I was selling some illegal items as well that are not so illegal anymore today. So I was always kind of a hustler on campus, and everybody kind of knew me as such. But then you have to graduate, right? You have to evolve. You gotta think bigger, right? You can't just sell weed. You can't just sell porno DVDs or whatever the hell it is that you're selling, right? You gotta get big. Not only was my father kind of on my back, but I had a child at a very early age, right? So I had my daughter when I was 21. After she was born, even before she was born, when you're that young, you're still in college, you start thinking. Plus, everybody around you, too, is expecting so much from you that when they hear this news, it's very negative, the reaction, right? It's like, oh, you pissed your life away, your life is done, you have this child. Meanwhile, she's the most beautiful girl ever that existed ever. And, but she definitely made me want to work. And to work as hard as I could. So the first job that I got out of college, because I needed the stability, was a financial analyst job, right? I studied finance, business, and all that stuff in school. And job paid me like $35,000 a year. And after, you get a bonus at the end of the year and all that kind of stuff. Me and her mother lived together. And honestly, it was a pretty cushy lifestyle. We didn't live that extravagantly. We both kind of worked. We probably pulled in maybe $50,000 a year, and it was enough to live in Massachusetts. It was a city called Lowell, still one of my favorite cities to this day. But it was enough. It was enough. But then you kind of get bored. I get bored easily. And then I want more. So that's just a kind of a thing that's in me. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just there. So I was super unhappy at that job because I'm going in this place and I'm looking at the same damn spreadsheet over and over and over again. I'm moving some numbers here and there. There's no purpose. To me, there was no purpose there. There was no value there. I didn't feel like my talents were being utilized. Despite the fact that I didn't know what the hell my talents were anyway, but I'm young and I want to go accomplish things. So I started looking for jobs, right? And at that time, you only had Craigslist. There was no Indeed. There was no any of these sites that y'all got, today. There was only Craigslist and, a couple other websites. And I saw this job for 100% commission, and it said equities trading firm, right? So I walk into this firm, and this was called a proprietary trading firm. So what they do is they give you these proprietary trading tools, technology, and strategies, and your job is to obviously utilize them to make money in the trading market. Now, you gotta remember, the time was like 2006. This was right before the market crashed, and all the head guys that ran the shop, they had made all their money shorting the tech boom, right? So 1999, 2000. So all the owners of the proprietary trading firm I started with, they had made all their money already, and the markets were literally ready to crash. This was 2006, 2007, right? I had just started learning like how to read tape, what tape was, what the market was, how to make money, and again, you really have to do this stuff by yourself, right? I mean, nobody really gave you much education back then. Like, trading education wasn't like what it is now. Right now, you can type in on Google options trader or tape reading or forex trader or whatever, and you get 100 different results of people that you can follow and possible strategies, things that you can make money off of. 2006, there wasn't a lot of trading education back then. You had to learn by losing money, So basically, I put down $5 grand. They give you leverage on your money, and they let you trade their strategy. Now, their strategy at the time was a predominantly short-based strategy, because again, they liked betting against stocks. So this means betting that the price of the companies are going to go down in price, and that's how you're going to make money. And fast forward, crash happened. All these guys who owned the firm, they started buying the banks on the way down, right? So Barclays, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all the banks that went to zero, more or less. And we're talking about $100 stocks, $150 stocks, $200 stocks, $50 stocks that ended up at zero or a quarter or $1. These guys started buying them on the way down, and they got blown out. They got blown out completely. They lost everything. And one day I showed up to the firm, the door was closed. I couldn't even walk in, And at that time, I was like blossoming into the trader, because again, like, I knew how to short. And when there's panic in the street and there's blood in the street, that's my game, baby. That is my game. It was easy. It was easier, I should say. So I had some of my best months, right? I had a couple $100,000 months, and then the firm closed down. I had a little bit of money to play around with, but at that time, because of the crash, my father had lost almost 80% of his money, and he's freaking out because he's about to retire, right? And remember, I just got through with the story of my third world father here, and the emphasis on money, right? And he saw it all evaporate. And remember, like, this man he saved everything. He saved every freaking penny, right? This man worked 3 jobs while I was a kid, and he was making stupid money in the 80s, and he was saving all of it, right? We weren't living extravagantly or anything like that. I didn't even know this man had that. I didn't even know this man was making that kind of, but he was sending it back home to India to support his sisters, to support his family, and to support us, And then all that money, it just went, right? In 2 days, 3 days, the market crashed. So he's freaking out. And of course, hindsight, if he just held it for another 10 years, he'd probably be fine. But that ain't the point, right? In the heat of the moment, you're just like, well, what the hell am I going to do? I'm about to retire. Shit's in, what are we going to do? So at that point, I was also blossoming into my own too. So I was like, yo, Pop, let's go for this. Let's shoot. Let's do this. I know what I'm doing, and let's take a shot. And needless to say, 2009 was an incredible year. We made $7 million, and he retired, and he hasn't worked a day since. So that's my story. I mean, obviously there's more to that story, but whatever.